Welcome back, marketers. It is a great day to talk about distribution. It's our P place. We are on to the third P in our series of videos. Our first set of videos talked about the first P of product in our marketing mix. The next P in our marketing mix is the P of price. So there's a set of videos on that came before this. And now we are moving into the P for place or distribution. And our final set of videos coming up soon will be on the last P for the marketing mix, which is promotion. So let's think about distribution. What is distribution? Why do we care about it? Why does it matter? Distribution is really the process of getting the product from the manufacturer to the consumer. Okay? There are a variety of ways we can do this. There are all kinds of complex and detailed systems that exist, and we're going to talk about some of those and really delve like halfway into the distribution P and look at some things in detail and then look at some things on more of a higher level. But let's dig in. Okay, so how do we define a distribution channel? We define it as a series of firms or individuals that facilitate the movement of a product to a final consumer. That's it. The movement of a product to a final consumer. It's the people or organizations or firms that are involved in this, okay? So if we are going to try to boil this down to the most simple level that we can, the simplest categorization of distribution channels categorizes them into two different types, okay? In the first type, we have direct distribution, where we have the product going directly from the producer to the consumer. Okay? Producer to consumer. This could be as simple as a person going and buying produce directly from a farmer at the farmer's market. Okay, this could be buying Nike sneakers on Nike's website and having them sent directly from Nike to you. This could be going to a, what's a good example here? This could be purchasing handmade jewelry at a craft fair or some kind of market. This can be anything that from both very large multinational corporations all the way to very small, one-man businesses, one-person businesses, okay? That's direct distribution. On the other side, we have the opposite of that. We have indirect distribution. So this is basically the idea that between the producer and the consumer, there's some kind of middleman, right? This could be more than one entity, or it could just be one, but there's at least one entity, individual, person, organization, company, whatever, that goes between the producer and the consumer. And so the product goes from the producer to what we call an intermediary to then to the consumer. So that is indirect distribution. So we're going to dig a little bit more into each of those. But first, I want to talk about just what is the function of a distribution channel? Why does it matter how we get the product from point A to point B into the customer's hands? So the first is that we're providing different types of utility to the customer. We provide time utility by making sure the product is is available at the time that the consumer needs it. Whether that is making sure that we can guarantee 2-day shipping like Amazon Prime, or that we have it on a shelf in a store somewhere, or something in between or different. The next is place utility. This is making sure that we have it on the right shelf in the right place for our target customers, and when they go to purchase it. And then the last is ownership utility, and this is the idea that either the producer or an intermediary, a retailer, whoever it is, owns the product and holds the product, whether in a store or a warehouse, until such time that the customer purchases it and is actually ready to receive it. So we have three key types of utility that distribution channels provide for both firms and consumers. Okay. And then another critical point for creating a functional distribution channel is that this can help reduce transactions, especially when we are using this indirect system where we have an intermediary between the producer and the consumer. Okay, and so what we know is that, let's say we didn't have a Walmart or a Target or an Amazon, and we really truly had to go and purchase everything we needed from the individual person or company that actually produces that thing. Okay. So here you can see that if we had these 5 people and they each had to buy these different items directly from the brand or the company that produces them, there's a whole bunch of transactions there, right? But if we then add in a retailer like Walmart or Target or wherever, then each of those people can go to one place and purchase all of those products. All of those companies only have to do with one intermediary. They're not dealing with the individuals, right? How frustrating would it be for, Clairol to have to ship or have just, sell one bottle of shampoo to Susan, right? And then also one individual bottle to Tom, right? And think of the additional costs and just general transaction costs that would be, that would exist with each of those transactions. Okay. So reducing the number of intermediaries can be a really useful function of distribution channels. Okay, so other functions of distribution channels are things like what we call breaking bulk. So this is the concept of purchasing larger quantities of goods and then selling off one at a time or a few at a time. So think back to Susan and Walmart and Clairol. Okay, Walmart purchases a pallet, let's say, of shampoo from Clairol. Then they take the shampoo and they distribute it at the different Walmart stores where Susan can then go purchase the one that she needs, right? Susan doesn't need a pallet of shampoo, right? But Clairol really only wants to sell their shampoo in these larger quantities, right? It just makes much more sense for them. And so we see this in both consumer goods products. We see this even with like minerals, right? There are companies that will go and buy large quantities of different minerals that are used in manufacturing or fertilizer, chemical plants and things like that. And then their whole function is to then break them up and sell them in smaller quantities to the people that need them in those smaller quantities. So that's breaking bulk. The next would be creating assortment. So this is where we have a wide variety of products in one location. So again, we can think of Walmart as an example of this. It doesn't have to be that we're providing every product under the sun to every single person like Walmart does, right? It may be that we are providing a specific assortment of goods, right? So for example, maybe we could go to a store that just sells one brand of golf equipment. However, even within that store, there is some assortment, there's some variety in terms of the different types of products. You could probably go into that Titleist store and buy every single thing that you need to walk on a golf course and play a round of golf, right? But we also have other golf stores that, they sell a wider variety of golf equipment. And so for consumers who are maybe less brand loyal or want to, experience and look at and try on different types of different brands, or, try all of these like 100 different putters and different brands before they purchase, that wide variety is really attractive, even within just the genre of a golf equipment store. Okay. We also see this online. All right, at the bottom here, we have the Golf Warehouse. There's over 200 styles of hot new shoes and unbeatable deals. So really communicating that if you utilize this intermediary, then there's a wide variety of assortment for the consumer. Okay. So that's creating assortment, a really critical function of our distribution channels. Okay. Now, and the main convenience there is, again, that reduction of transactions and the ability of the customer to be able to get lots of different things from just one seller, instead of having to go to lots of different sellers. The next one is called the facilitating function. And this is sort of incidental things that intermediaries, not always, but sometimes offer. And these are things that functions that don't exist in every distribution channel, but can just generally make the process of purchasing a product easier for either the manufacturer or the consumer, or maybe both. Layaway, installation, delivery from the intermediary to the actual home. Like if you bought a washer and dryer, for example, from Home Depot. Next one is risk taking. Have you ever been to Walmart the day after Christmas? Right? It's crazy because they have now marked down all of the Christmas items to 50%, and so eventually they'll be 70% and then 90% off. And the idea here is to get them moved out because Walmart took on risk from the actual producers. So the producers of the products, it doesn't really matter to them whether Walmart has sold all of the little pet shop toys that were like a special Christmas deal, because Walmart purchased those from the manufacturer. Walmart purchased those sets from Clairol or L'Oreal of their little shampoo set. And then if there's a whole bunch of them left after Christmas, then that's on Walmart, and Walmart is the one that has to actually take, potentially take a loss, or at least take a reduction in profit or revenue by marking it down. And finally, and last but not least, when channel members, like an intermediary, like Walmart or like Amazon, create promotional materials, create other types of marketing communications, it can benefit the other members in the channel, like the producer. So for example, last week, my kids got a catalog from Amazon. Okay, it has a whole bunch of different toys in it. They're super excited. Okay, so that is advertising that is not just for Amazon, even though Amazon's the one that produced it and selected all the things that would go in it. It also is advertising for all of those different brands that are advertised that have products in the catalog. Okay, so you get kind of dual purpose and some benefit from those marketing communications.